a new toy has entered my domain, and one we were very excited about when Google announced it at the Nexus event a few months ago. This is the Pixel C tablet, and we were puzzled about it because of the name. Normally, tablets from Google are Nexus. The Pixels are Chromebooks. An Android tablet called a Pixel? Well, Google explains it saying, well, the Pixels are the ones we design and build. The Nexuses are built by partners. But I don't know if that's fully the right answer. Ron Amadio at Ars Technica has some evidence that the Pixel C was originally intended to be a Chromebook. But the project to touchify Chrome OS was canceled, and so they had to put Android on a tablet. It's a nice tablet with a very fast processor. This is, in fact, the first Tegra X1 tablet, and a unique keyboard attachment system. Now, they have two keyboards. This is the Portfolio keyboard, which is more of a case, as you can see, that has a keyboard attached and acts as a stand. But I have to say I'd recommend just what Google just calls generically the keyboard. It's not a full case, but watch this. When you break the magnetic attraction, it's a very strong magnet, and then you see that? Look how strong that is. It won't even fall off. You have an infinite angle, unless you pull it too far forward and pry it off, that can go all the way back and all the way forward. And you get I think, a really nice platform for your Nexus C. It, in fact, becomes, in some ways, like a laptop computer. And I say like because of a couple of things. Obviously, number one is it's Android. And Android was really never intended to be used as a laptop computer. And this in particular, this is as a Google device running the latest Android, Marshmallow. But Marshmallow has no facility for split screens. You can only do one thing at a time. It is touch-focused, but it's very much, in some cases, with certain apps, totally an iPhone operating system. For instance, open Instagram, and immediately you're put back into phone mode, into a portrait mode. It's just not a very good experience on tablet. Having said that, there are a lot of apps that work very well in tablet mode, in landscape mode, including Google's Google Plus app, which goes immediately into a kind of a beautiful big screen mode, but then 3 columns, and I think uses the real estate quite well. There are a variety of third-party apps. I like this Aquamail app. We've talked about this before as one of the most powerful Android apps for email, and actually it has basically a desktop email experience for you on the Pixel C. The other thing that makes this kind of not quite a laptop is, unfortunately, the keyboard. It's a good keyboard with lots of travel on the keys, very similar to modern laptops. But because of the size of the Pixel C, the keyboard is kind of tiny. There are arrow keys, but there's no function keys. And you have to remember a broad range of keyboard shortcuts to use some of the tablet features. Alt-Tab, for instance, brings up the recents screen and lets you scroll through it. If you hit the search key, that's in the place of the caps lock key. If you hit the search key and enter, it'll bring you back to the home page, things like that. You might say this looks a little gaudy. I've actually replaced the standard Google Now launcher with my favorite launcher, Nova Launcher. And it's one of the reasons I kind of like Android tablets as opposed to iPads. The use of widgets means these become a dashboard. I could very quickly get a lot of information. Here's my calendar. Here's my text messages. Here's how many calories I've eaten today, and I could quickly add food. If I hear a song playing, I could just press that button, and it automatically starts listening to the song. These are things that I think make Android a little bit better than iOS for a touch interface, and I think the Pixel C takes good advantage of these. So all in all, I'm fairly happy with the Pixel C. I think it's a great kind of hybrid tablet experience. I do wish it had split screens. The Pixel C team says it will in the next version of Android, Android N. But I can wait until then. I use this all the time in places where I don't want to carry around a heavy laptop. I want something thin and light and lightweight. And I still want to do a little bit more serious work. You know, I can go into the chat room using IRC Cloud and really have a desktop-style chat experience. And type away to my heart's content. So I kind of like it. So let's talk a little bit about the pros and cons. You know, on the pro side, this is great hardware, and everybody agrees on that. Designed by the Pixel team, it has a kind of a look and feel of the Google Pixel Chromebook, including the rainbow little lights here that will tell you how full the battery charge is. I really think this keyboard attachment with the powerful magnets is actually quite innovative, and I really like it. They've also learned from Microsoft's experience with the Surface that you want more than one angle. You want to have a variable angles, and especially for an airplane, this would be a really great choice if you're sitting in like a coach seat. Apple still hasn't learned that, and I think that the iPad Pro suffers a little because it only can have one angle. The keyboard has nice feel to it, but it's a con also. It's a pro for the nice feel, but a con for the cramped feeling. If you have big hands or you're used to a full-size keyboard, this might be a little tough for you to type accurately on. Another big con, of course, is the price. It starts, just the tablet itself, at $500, but you're going to want to get the 64 gig version, add $100 for that, and then add another $170 for the keyboard. You're talking laptop costs here, and that is an awful lot for a convertible tablet. Other cons include, a dearth of Android tablet apps, although I found enough that I feel fairly comfortable, and a lack of split screen means it's not exactly an ideal productivity tool. But given the pros, given the cons, if you're willing to spend the money for quality hardware, fast hardware, by the way, the X1 processor really is speedy, feels a really kind of nice look and feel, I'm gonna say it's a buy. I've been very happy with the Pixel. I've seen many negative reviews of it, but I think this is something I use a lot, and I'm very happy to have. My recommendation: get the standard keyboard, not the Portfolio keyboard, unless you have to have a case that covers the tablet, the whole tablet. So a buy. Hey, that's how I feel. I got to tell it like I see it for the Pixel C.